Hi, my name is Daniel Koranteng. This is my YouTube channel. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment in the comment section. Let's go. Ayew, Andre Ayew, the captain of the Black Stars, and his brother Jordan Ayew. Charlie, in recent times, he's not had a lot of good favor from Ghanaian football fans and pundits alike. And some of which I think is valid, some also I think is a bit misplaced. I think they both have their uses, but let's look at two sides of the argument. Okay, let's start off with Jordan Ayew. I feel like saying we should bench him outright from the start is a bit misplaced. For me, I think it depends on who we are facing. Okay, when we are coming up against big teams that we expect to dominate possession, put a lot of pressure on us, I think he's very necessary to start. It is extremely necessary to start him because of his defensive output. Let's look at Portugal, for example. This team has been together for a very long time. They've been under manager Fernando Santos, I think, since 2015, 2016. They've already won a major trophy, 2 major trophies under him. So he knows his players, he understands his players, and they are more suited to their philosophy. So coming up against this Black Stars team, we expect them to be the dominant side. Now, when you are coming up against all these attacking threats, these attacking players, you look at their fullbacks in Cancelo and Guerrero and Nuno Mendes and Diogo Dalot, very attacking. You look at their midfield, which is beefed with a lot of talent in Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes. You look at Ruben Neves, William Carvalho. These guys can pick a pass. They can hit you with just a split second. I feel when we are coming up against a team like that, we need to be as pragmatic as possible. I don't think the ideal starting 11 for every football fan or the dream starting 11 for every football fan will be the starting 11 that will work. We need to respect our position, and that's why I feel like in situations like that we need to start Jordan from the start. His defensive output, his willingness to track a runner, to run, to work his lungs out to make sure that his fullback or his fullback or whoever he's playing on that side, be the left or right fullback, has a very comfortable time. I think he does a lot in that regard. We look at how much he's valued at club level because of that work rate, because of that defensive work rate. It is extremely necessary, and I'm mentioning it. I just repeat it again just to sound out how important it is. When you are facing teams like Portugal, teams that are attacking, teams that have the superior quality players, and you expect them to, or you expect to be under a lot of pressure when you are facing them, that is when you need somebody like Jordan from the start. So let's look at a similar example. When Ghana faced Switzerland in that friendly, you start Jordan, he does the work he's supposed to do. You contain the game for as long as possible. When you start feeling like you have a momentum, then you take him off, you bring someone more attacking, and then you take the game to the opposition. And I think it makes sense in that regard. I think if you're going to start with a more attacking player in that position, it will have a negative effect on your defensive shape and your defensive output in the game. That's why I feel like starting Jordan in games like against Portugal, against Brazil, more of these big names, these nations who have been together for long, who have the superior quality, I think that makes sense. But let's say in the second game against South Korea, for example, I wouldn't go for him from the start. So I think it just depends on, for me, it depends on the opposition you are facing. You don't need to start him all the time, but he definitely has his uses, and that's where I feel like sometimes we also need to understand where we are and understand the opposition we are facing. And sometimes it will also, in fact, always, it will inform the sort of players that you put on the pitch from the start. With Andre, for me right now, because of his age, because of he's lost a lot of yards, he's lost that firepower that he used to have back in the day, when that ability to run up and down, his skill has gone down a lot in terms of handling the ball technically, but he still has that eye for goal. I think in our team, he understands the box better than anyone. So will I start him? Personally, I will not. Yes, he's a captain of the team, yes, he's the leader, but I feel like there are more capable players who can do his job. We are in an age of football where running is extremely important. Your ability to press, to track your runner, put in defensive, your defensive output is very, very important in games like this. And also, if you are, per the example I gave with Jordan, if you're going to face a team like Portugal and you're going to sit back and defend, then you need to be catching them on a counter. And when you are relying on a counter attack, you need pacey, quick players who are quick on their feet and who can think quickly and transition very quickly. And Andre, with his current state, cannot necessarily give you that. I think Andre Ayew is now, with all the experience he's gathered, with the understanding of the box that I mentioned earlier, I think he's more suited coming off the bench, reading the game from the bench, coming off the bench, and then making those insightful runs into the box and punishing the opposition. I think that is where he suits best. When Ghana is chasing a game, he's a perfect player to bring on the box, bring on from the bench, stick him in the box there, and you just know that he'll get a chance or two and he'll punish the opposition. So for me, as it stands right now, I don't think starting Andre Ayew is a good idea across. But look, he's been Ghana's top scorer for the last 2-3 years. That is his strength, his ability to find the back of the net. But in the current demands of modern day football, I don't think his body will allow him to do it as well as some of the guys who are on the bench. The likes of Kudus Mohammed in that number 10 position will clearly offer more than Andre Ayew in that particular position. And also, yes, someone may argue about Andre Ayew's defensive responsibility and his defensive output in that number 10 position. Kudus is a sort of player who you can instruct to do that and make sure that he does that, and he will do that. It's not like it's not beyond him to be able to press and track a runner. It's not beyond him. He has it in his skill sets to be able to do that. So I'm just saying that in the positions where Andre Ayew will thrive best from the start, I just feel like there are better players on the bench who can in the squad who can offer a bit more for us, both defensively and offensively also. So me, with Jordan, I think that it depends on who you are facing. If you are facing a superior opposition, I will start Jordan to be able to contain the game. Then as and when the game goes on, where we have moments in it, when we start to feel like we've contained it long enough and we can go for it, then you take him off and bring a more attacking player. But for Andre and the captain, I will keep him on the bench. When we are chasing a game, then you bring him on. Even when you have a lead and you want to sort of bring that experience to calm the game down, he's a perfect player to bring on in those situations. So that is that for me. Let me know what you think from the comments. Should we bench the Ayews altogether, or you are like me who thinks it depends on one or two situations? Leave a comment in the comment section.